Welcome back. You're still watching the AM show. Now, for our very first conversation this morning, let's engage a representative from Imperial College, one of the top 10 universities in London, and they're launching a new hub here in Ghana. In the studio with me this morning is Professor Hugh Brady. He's president of Imperial College London and is here to tell us more about it. Welcome to the AM show, Hugh.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Right. So before we even get started, what is Imperial College known for? What is the one thing that, when you think about Imperial College, comes to mind?
I'd say it's the world's most vibrant community of academics working on what we call STEM-B, so science, engineering, medicine, and business.
Right.
So a fantastic community of problem solvers, really focused on coming up with solutions for the existential threats of our time, be that climate change, antimicrobial resistance, food security.
And you're launching here in Ghana. Tell us about that. What inspired you to come to Ghana?
Well, we've had fantastic collaborations with Ghanaian institutions over many decades, particularly with the University of Ghana and with the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences. And that collaboration touches areas such as medical diagnostics, vaccine design, but also, really importantly, sustainability, smart cities, precision agriculture. So we're building on a really strong foundation, but looking to take that to another level in terms of the capacity that in combination we can offer the world.
And you already have a community of alumni here in the country?
Yeah, they have been fantastic ambassadors and advocates for the university over so many years. And in fact, one of the reasons for establishing this hub is because they were really encouraging us to up our game and to really build our additional kind of collaborative capacity with Ghanaian institutions.
So in terms of the intention behind coming to set up here in Ghana, what objectives are you hoping to achieve at the end of your stay here, maybe in the next 5 or 10 years? What objectives are you hoping to achieve with the launch here in Ghana?
Yeah, I think together we will have generated greater research capacity, greater innovation capacity, and helped really support and nurture the next generation of entrepreneurs who can really get their teeth into the big problems of our time. And I mentioned some of them, so but particularly climate change, particularly antimicrobial resistance, pandemic preparedness, but equally that they will be applying their discoveries to generate the next SMEs, the next companies, the next jobs for Ghana, while making an impact on the world in these really important areas.
I'm sure you did some research and all that. Did you identify some gaps in all these areas that you are seeking to fill?
Well, one great example is, of course, the whole world is talking about generative AI. So one of the components of the launch, which is probably for me most exciting, is that we, with the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences and the University of Ghana, will be part of the Eric and Wendy Schmidt AI Fellows Program. So Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, has put together this global program looking at how you apply AI for good in the world. We will be part of that. University of Ghana and the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences are part of that. But really importantly, bringing in other partners in Malaysia, in Brazil, in India. So this is team science at an international scale, which is what we need if we're going to really make inroads dealing with the likes of climate change, the likes of urbanization.
Yeah. So do you have the places you mentioned, Malaysia and the rest, do you have colleges there as well?
We don't. So I should say Ghana is one of our first hubs.
Oh,
so
okay.
So we are, as the initial phase, 4 hubs. We're delighted that Ghana is at the vanguard of that, and both to collaborate locally, but also for West Africa. That's really important. And in good company with San Francisco, with Bangalore, and with Singapore.
That's interesting. For your very first hub in West Africa, and you chose Ghana.
Well, you mentioned our alumni. So
yes,
one is our alumni really encouraged us. But secondly, because of the strength of the collaborations that already exist. And thirdly, the generosity of the Schmidt program, for example, allows us to take it to another level. And particularly to look at how we use AI to make the world a safer, healthier, smarter, more sustainable, more prosperous place. So what a fantastic opportunity.
In terms of science and technology, specifically, what areas will emerge from these new partnerships?
So you will see us build additional capacity in areas where we already have good partnerships. And I mentioned medical diagnostics,
Yeah.
particularly digital diagnostics in remote areas, vaccine design, but really importantly, that interface between the environment, health, and urbanization, which is something that is as important to the UK as it is to Ghana and West Africa.
Yeah.
So even this week, we have 40 really smart young people, early career researchers from Ghana and from Imperial, looking at these problems together.
40?
40.
That's impressive.
And they are just fantastic. They give you hope for the future.
So how has the reception been in general? Since you entered the country, how has the reception been in terms of those who are receiving your message, those who you're partnering with, those who are even helping you set up? How would you say the assessment of the reception has been?
An incredibly warm welcome, but as important, I think there's a real sense of ambition and transformation. So I mentioned those 40 students. They are determined to make the world a better place, and what appropriate ambition, and the fact that they are applying their collective brain power, to such an important area as climate change and future cities. That's exactly what we need the young people of today focused on. And when you're in their company, just the buzz in the room, the ambition, the enthusiasm, just fantastic.
In terms of climate change, I mean, we have a series here called Climate Focus, where we try to shine light on, the danger, in fact, the changing nature of the climate right now. We talk about greenhouse effects and all that. Do you think that the message of climate change and why we should take it seriously is reaching the target audience? Do you think that we are doing enough, not just for Ghana here, but West Africa? Do you think that we're taking climate change as seriously as we should be?
I think in all of our countries, we have done a lot, but we need to do more. I mean, unfortunately, as you know, whereas I think the majority of the public recognize the very real effects of climate change and the threat that it poses, and indeed the economic opportunities ultimately that it may offer in terms of dealing with it. There are some that don't fully understand it. You asked about Imperial. Imperial is an incredibly evidence-based institution. So we sometimes have to remind ourselves that it's not just the evidence, but it's how we tell the story. So we get buy-in from a wider public, and the more buy-in, the more chance we will deal with the issue.
Well, what would be your, should I say, an elevator pitch to our audience or watching you as to why they should look out for Imperial College, and when it's ready, they should come on board and familiarize themselves with this research-based, did you say research and results-based institution, and the many things that you're hoping to do for them as students?
I'd say come and join us, and particularly those bright young minds. What is fantastic about this is that it's bringing together the brightest young minds from the UK and Europe with the brightest young minds from West Africa, but focused on the very real problems of our time. And if we get this right, and we will be generating the next generation of researchers, the next generation of innovators, the problem solvers who will deal with these issues and just make the world a better place and a more prosperous place.
My final question to you would be, what is the future of UK-Ghana science partnerships, and who would you like to work with more closely?
So I think for us, what's really important is that we build on the strong collaborations with the University of Ghana and the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences, but use that as a springboard for greater collaboration in West Africa, in the region. And I think, I know that is a shared ambition of our Ghanaian partners. And again, it comes back to then, if we're going to crack the big problems of our time, such as climate change, we need team science at unprecedented scale that crosses borders. And that's what this is about. That is trying to build that capacity that we need with the urgency to deliver the solutions to make the world a better place. So
are you looking for more partnerships with CSOs, or if someone do want to reach out to you, how do they get in touch with you?
So if they get in contact with Imperial Global Ghana, they will be, we will put them in contact. So we're looking, and your question is a great one, not just for academic partners, but actually some of the best questions, are coming from community organizations, from industry. And I think it's that approach, that team science approach, is that ultimately going to deliver, not just for our collaborative universities, but actually for the UK and for Ghana.
Well, so you say to go to Imperial College Global Ghana. That is your website?
So if you go onto our Imperial website and you look for Imperial Global Ghana, you'll get to it. If that doesn't get you to, I answer my emails.
Okay, so what is that email? Because I'm sure those watching us might want to get in touch.
That's president@imperial.ac.uk.
Okay, I want to reiterate that so that those who are interested will get it. It's president.what?
At imperial.ac.uk.
At imperial.ac.uk. If you do want to reach out to Imperial College London, who are launching a new hub here in Ghana, what would be your final word to our audience? And you can look right into your camera and say that.
Well, I think first, thank you for the fantastic welcome. To the young students, keep going. You know, they get it. They realize the importance of team science, of internationalization. They have the collective brain power to really make a difference to humanity and the planet. And that's exactly the ambition that we need if we're to deal with those threats of climate change, of AMR, pandemic preparedness, the very big issues of our time. That energy is just infectious, and we're there to support them, and we will do everything in our power to do so.
Okay, so when you think of science, technology, medicine, and business, think Imperial College London. They're here in Ghana to set up because they found some gaps they want to help us fill. Thank you so much for coming. Hugh Brady is the president for Imperial College London, who are launching here in Ghana. And if you want more information, you can contact him at imperialcollegeglobal.ac.uk, and he says he replies to all his emails. So please do get in touch. Thank you for coming, Brady.
Thank you for having me.
All right, there's still a lot coming your way on the AM show. Don't go away. We'll be right back.